Hello, you're watching QPVN News. I'm Anh Tuấn and here's the headlines. Vietnam People's Army leaders honored with orders. Ready for Military Music Exchange 2024. Vietnam to hit its target of welcoming 17 to 18 million international visitors. On the afternoon of December the 13th, State President Lương Cường received outgoing Algerian ambassador to Vietnam, Sofiane Chaib, congratulating Chaib on being appointed by the Algerian government to the position of Secretary of State to the Minister of Foreign Affairs. President Lương Cường expressed his hope that in his new position, when with the special affection he developed during his tenure in Vietnam, the diplomats will continue to pay attention to and promote measures to further deepen the traditional friendship between Vietnam and Algeria in various fields. The state leader affirmed that Vietnam always valued its traditional relations and friendly cooperation with Algeria. He said he believes that the two countries will continue to strengthen their cooperation more comprehensively in all areas, particularly in politics, diplomacy, economics, trade, investment, culture, education, and people-to-people exchange in order to match the potential of each country. On the afternoon of December the 13th in Hanoi, General Phan Van Giang, Minister of National Defense, chaired the awarding ceremony of orders to senior officers of the Vietnam People's Army. At the event, Minister Phan Van Giang presented the third-class military exploit order to 10 leaders of the Ministry of National Defense, the General Staff, and the General Political Department. Senior Lieutenant General Trịnh Văn Quyết and General Nguyễn Tân Cương awarded the first class, second class, and third class Fatherland Protection orders to 24 commanding officers. On behalf of the Ministry of National Defense, General Giang congratulated the 34 individuals receiving order and affirmed that this is a noble reward from the party and state, reflecting the attention, trust, encouragement, and recognition of the contributions and achievements of the senior officers of the Vietnam People's Army. It is a great honor for the individuals receiving the award and also a shared joy for the entire Central Military Commission, the Ministry of National Defense, and all officers and soldiers of the Home Military. On December the 13th in Hanoi, Senior Lieutenant General Trịnh Văn Quyết, Chairman of the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army, received his Lao counterpart, Thông Lôi Silivong, and the Lao high-ranking delegation who are visiting and attending the 80th anniversary of the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army. On behalf of the leaders of the Central Military Commission, Ministry of National Defense, and the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army, Senior Lieutenant General Trịnh Văn Quyết respectfully thanked Senior Lieutenant General Silivong, his spouse, and the high-ranking delegation of Laos for attending the ceremony to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army. Congratulating the growth and maturity of the Vietnam People's Army and the General Political Department over the past 80 years, General Silivong sincerely thanked the practical and effective support of the General Political Department in particular and the Vietnam People's Army in general for the Lao military over the past time. Both sides agreed that in the coming time they will soon concretize the agreed cooperation contents, focusing on effectively coordinating the implementation of dissemination and education work and party and political work, contributing to further tightening the special solidarity between Vietnam and Laos, as well as strengthening the bonds between the two militaries. Earlier that day, Senior Lieutenant General Thông Lôi Silivong visited the Vietnam Military History Museum. On the morning of December the 13th in Hanoi, General Nguyễn Tân Cương, Chief of the General Staff and Deputy Defense Minister, presided over the rehearsal of the Vietnamese military bands participating in the Military Music Exchange 2024. The Military Music Exchange 2024 is slated for December 19 to the 22nd at the Thăng Long Imperial Citadel in Hanoi. This event is organized to celebrate the 80th founding anniversary of the Vietnam People's Army and the 35th Ho People's Defense Festive Day. To participate in the exchange program, the Department of Military Training and relevant authorities has proactively prepared all necessary arrangements while also developing detailed scripts and conducted rehearsals for the military bands. General Nguyễn Tân Cương requested that relevant agencies, units and forces take note of the feedback provided during the rehearsal, continue to uphold a determined spirit, thoroughly prepare and be ready to perform well during the opening and closing ceremonies, contributing to the overall success of the exchange program. On December the 13th, Senior Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến, Deputy Defense Minister, presided over a meeting to deploy reception work at the ceremonies to celebrate the 80th founding anniversary of the Vietnam People's Army and the 35th anniversary of the Ho People's Defense Festive Day and the second Vietnam International Defense Expo 2024. So far, 66 international delegations have confirmed to participate in those events. Senior Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến requested the reception subcommittee of those activities to coordinate with relevant agencies to well grasp the information related to the delegates to develop a reception plan. In particular, the Department of Foreign Relations is asked to develop a master plan and provide professional training for escorting officers, liaison officers, interpreters, and security officers to serve international delegations attending the events thoughtfully and respectfully, while maintaining security and safety and demonstrating Vietnam's hospitality to international friends. The post-revolutionary struggle of Vietnam witnessed the contribution of a special force, including those who had once been on the other side of the battlefields. When coming to Vietnam and witnessing the crime of the colonialists, they decided to follow righteousness, follow the party and alcohol, and contributed to Vietnam's war of resistance for independence, freedom, and peace.
I miss my friends and comrades and always remember their contribution and sacrifices. Many of them passed away. The most memorable thing about Reup is that before every speech, he always paid tribute to Uncle Ho. Costas Sarantidis Nguyễn Văn Reup is a special foreign soldier who was honored by Vietnam by granting him citizenship and the title of Hero of People's Armed Forces. Born in Greek, he joined the French Foreign Legion and was sent to Indochina in 1946. Witnessing the crime of the colonialist, he decided to join the Vietnam People's Army under the name Nguyễn Văn Reup. After nearly 10 years of serving at Regiment 803 Region 5, he achieved many feats of arms and helped mobilize foreign legionnaires to join the revolution. After the Geneva Agreement in 1954, he went to the north and made more contribution. Returning to Greece in 1965, he was always a bridge connecting the Vietnamese community there and always longed for Vietnam until his last breath. Along with a hero of the People's Armed Forces from Greece, he was a major general from Morocco in the Vietnam People's Army. There was a Moroccan who joined the command in the Viet Minh movement and was promoted to the general rank of the Vietnamese army. He was well known Ben Awama Larak. A famous work was written about him called The Story of Brother Ma. The Story of Brother Ma, a book written by Professor Abdallah Saab, recounts that in 1949, President Ho Chi Minh proposed that the Moroccan Communist Party send an experienced officer to Vietnam to assist in the mass mobilization and education for North African soldiers, deserters, and prisoners of war. In 1951, Ben Awama came to Vietnam and was given the name Nguyễn Chiến Mã by President Ho Chi Minh. After the Điện Biên Phủ campaign, he was promoted to the rank of Major General for his significant contribution. In 1959, he returned to Morocco, but his legacy endures, especially through the North African-style gate in Ba Vì, Hà Nội, which he suggested building. He spoke Vietnamese like a native. He could write in Vietnamese too. He was a kind-hearted man, very emotional, yet steadfast in everything he said and did. The Vietnamese national liberation movement has always garnered support from international friends who cherish peace, democracy, and progress. Names such as Kostas Sarantidis, Nguyễn Văn Lập from Greece, Ben Awama, Nguyễn Chiến Mã from Morocco, Platon, Nguyễn Văn Thành, Fyodor Bezmeny Biblichenko from the Soviet Union, Kuzumasa Phanlai, Nakahara Minh Ngọc from Japan, Shuza Nguyễn Đức Việt from Germany, remain iconic international soldiers of the Vietnam People's Army. In peacetime, Vietnamese military officers provide free medical checkups, treatment, and medicines to ethnic communities in border provinces of Laos and Cambodia. Always ready to be in dangerous areas for humanitarian rescue and relief missions, Vietnamese peacekeepers provide medical assistance to African people, bringing hope to those in conflict-affected areas. Peace is what everyone longs for. Vietnamese soldiers hailing from a nation that endured the devastation of war are willing to leave their homeland on a mission to serve as a bridge for peace. That proud mission is embodied in the name of Vietnam. Coming up next, Phú Yên advances socio-economic development in ethnic minority areas. Vietnam to hit its target of welcoming 17 to 18 million international visitors. To implement national target programs in Phú Yên ethnic minority and mountainous areas, local authorities have focused on supporting effective farming and husbandry models that yield high income. The province prioritizes infrastructure development, applying science and technology, digital transformation, entrepreneurship, OCOP products, and community-based tourism to create new value in these remote regions.
In the highland communes of Sông Hinh district, effective agricultural models supported by local authorities have boosted incomes and reduced poverty. Disease-resistant cassava varieties have been introduced, sugarcane farmers are linked to factories for stable outputs, and macadamia and durian are cultivated in centralized areas with market connections. Infrastructure improvement in these areas actively support production. Agricultural products need clear origins to sell well. Clean produce is suitable, we can't just chase quantity. Through effective implementation of these programs, Phú Yên ethnic minority areas have undergone significant changes, contributing to the province's socio-economic growth.
Last month, Vietnam's tourism sector recorded a remarkable growth in the number of international visitors to the country, showing the strong recovery of the sector after the pandemic. By the end of this year, Vietnam is expected to complete its target of welcoming 17 to 18 million international visitors.
According to newly released data from the General Statistics Office, Vietnam witnessed a strong increase in the number of international visitors in November, with 1.7 million arrivals. Experts said that the effectiveness of the open visa policy and systematic promotion work are key factors helping the tourism industry grow rapidly in the last months of the year.
Nới lỏng visa về
Visa relaxation on the duration of stay, entry conditions, as well as the expanding e-visa policy have opened the long-standing bottleneck and increased the competitiveness of Vietnamese tourism. In addition, the tourism industry has promoted effectively and substantially to key markets, attended large international tourism fairs, and had more participation of travel companies. October, November, and December are the peak season for international visitors, so Vietnam can hit its target of welcoming 17 to 18 million international visitors. With strong reform efforts and cooperation among units in the industry, Vietnam is on track to fully recover its international tourist market after the COVID-19 pandemic.
This is the end of the QPVN News today. Remember to watch our news again at qpvn.vn. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.